if I am not mistaken, you and Charles called the second part of this trilogy, correct? Did you call that
We
game?
did.
Okay.
Yeah, it was a masterful Josh Allen performance when he truly had command of the game.
Mm-hmm.
It just felt like from the word go, he was locked in on beating the New England Patriots that day and changing the perception of the way people view the AFC East this year. You know what the expectations were for Buffalo entering the season. This team was looking at a Super Bowl or bust mentality after what they did last year, AFC Championship game appearance, lost to Kansas City, same group back, felt like they were ready for an extended run. And they really struggled early in the season. And I think people then stopped paying attention to them for a while until they went back into the lab and got their whole game in order, where now you look at it and say, wait, they can come out of the AFC. They're just as good as anybody else. They're probably the most balanced team in the AFC if you go player for player and what they bring on the defensive end and the dynamic offensive skills that Allen brings to the table. So to me, this is a strange thing to say compared to where they were a year ago, because we had the playoff game last year, the wild card game against Indianapolis.
Right.
I actually think Buffalo is in a greater position this year after having such a tremendous regular season last year, breaking through, winning the AFC East. I like their team more today than I did a year ago.
Why?
I just think they're now prepared for it. They realize what goes into it. They've experienced some adversity. They've gotten through that period. I think they've exhaled a bit over what was, for a moment, a stretch where they could have been the biggest underachievers in the NFL. And they got through it. And now they're better because of it. They've got more of a running game right now than they did a year ago. Devin Singletary has been a factor down the stretch of the season. Their defense is tremendous. Leslie Frazier, Sean McDermott, that group has been excellent. They lose a Pro Bowler in Tre'Davious White. They've lost nothing on the field somehow. That's not saying they're better because of it. They're not. But Dane Jackson has held down his spot. Levi Wallace has been excellent. Taron Johnson is very opportunistic and seems to have a nose for the ball. I like their team. I like where they stand right now.
Well, and then it's amazing how you could say that the Patriots are the less experienced, right? I mean, certainly with that head coach who's been there and done that. We don't need to go into Belichick's resume, clearly. But when you spoke to Mac, did you get to speak to Mac Jones? Because I know that the Patriots have definitely not presented him to a lot of broadcasters. Did you get to? You did.
We do talk to him each week. Our scheduled meeting is tomorrow. And he's actually been very good in the meetings. I think the Patriots, like a lot of teams with rookies that are in prominent roles, try to pick and choose their spots, and they're easing him into this position. He's got a lot on his plate.
Yes.
But I got to tell you, he's really likable when you talk to him.
Oh, sure.
He's got a really good way about him. He's highly competitive. He gets very, very hard on himself when he makes mistakes. I think that's been out there as part of the scouting report. But good dude, likable dude. He's going to be doing this a long time in a prominent position with the Pats. We will talk to him tomorrow.
Yeah, because, I mean, obviously, that win streak that the Patriots went on, that 7-gamer that basically got him in the playoffs, and that the 7th consecutive win was the first visit that the Patriots made to Buffalo, and we all saw what happened on that Monday night game with the weather, in which he only threw it 3 times. And then comes the bye week, and he has not been the same. I mean, at all. I mean, the Colts, he did have a terrific fourth quarter to make that a game on that Saturday night after the bye week. Then the second Buffalo game, in which he really had a long afternoon. We can just take the Jacksonville game and throw that one out, although the Colts would love to do the same with Week 18. And then the game against Miami. So what do you think is the concern? What were you hearing, I guess, a couple of weeks ago? What are you sensing prior to your conversation with him getting ready for the playoffs, Ian?
Yeah, I think there's always a concern in terms of the rookie wall that takes place for a lot of these guys. I know he played at Alabama, which means you play in a whole bunch of games. He didn't start every year at Alabama. We know his story, that he waited. He got his opportunity, obviously did a great job under Nick Saban. But for all of these rookies, when you get into December and now January, there's always going to be a concern that they just don't have as much gas in the tank. And the other part of the equation is pretty simple. There's more tape. There's more film on you. Defensive coordinators are really good in this league at picking out where you are susceptible and where they can expose you out on the field. And defensively, the Patriots haven't been very good in the last month, so that hasn't helped either. I think there were probably a couple of games in that 7-game winning streak where the defense was just so dominant. Mac didn't make any mistakes, and they walked out of places with a win. And it just gets coupled together when you rip off so many wins in a row. You just assume everything is clicking all at once. Not necessarily the case. But, Rich, you know and I know that rookie quarterbacks in the NFL have had very limited success come playoff time. That just doesn't happen. Even the great ones struggle in those spots. The last 3 to win games in the NFL as a rookie in the playoffs, you've got Mark Sanchez, you've got Joe Flacco, you've got Ben Roethlisberger.
That's it, man.
No rookie QB has ever won a Super Bowl, and there's a reason behind it. It requires reps, experience, life experience doing this job, and Mac is no different.
Hey, you watched all the way to the end. Thanks for that. Watch more right here.